guys, and welcome to Fandom Newbie. My name is Shruti and today I'm doing another 24-hour readathon for you guys. Now the last one that I did, you guys seem to really enjoy and a lot of you have requested me to do another one. So here I am today doing another 24-hour readathon challenge kind of thing. But this time I want to do a kind of theme to my 24-hour challenge. Basically, I'm going to be reading a bunch of like spooky thriller kind of books because it is October, Halloween is coming up, and it's generally regarded as spooky month on Booktube. So I'm going to be reading a few thriller and like ghost spooky related books. So let me just run you through my TBR. The first book that I'm going to read is One Arranged Murder by Chetan Bhagat. Okay, so I know that in my last video I made this statement. So the first one, of course, is One Arranged Murder by Chetan Bhagat, which I'm not going to buy. I'm not going to buy. But I caved, okay? I caved. Sue me. Hate me in the comments, but I caved. Honestly, it's not like I'm going to read this book just for the sake of hating on it because, like, really, genuinely, honestly, I am very intrigued by this book because there are so many booktubers who, like, whose opinions I trust and stuff, who have left like reviews on YouTube saying that this book is not that bad. In fact, it is one of his better books. There are flaws with it, they have admitted to that, but they have said that overall it's an enjoyable read, and I am super intrigued because I haven't read a Chetan Bhagat book in probably over like 7 or 8 years. Like, I haven't picked one up. So I'm very intrigued because this is causing quite an uproar on Booktube. So yeah, I want to see what it's about. The next one that I'm reading is Haunted: Real Life Encounters with Ghosts and Spirits by Jay Alani and Neil De Silva. What I know is that Neil De Silva is apparently a really good Indian horror author. Like, he writes extremely like well described ghost stories that really like transport you into the world of the ghost story. And this book is basically a collection of 10 short stories which are about ghosts. So I've heard that this is very creepy and very like atmospheric and really like transports you into these stories. So yeah, I'm excited to read this one. The third one that I am going to read is Coraline by Neil Gaiman. Now, I've heard such good things about this book. Like, I really don't know what it's about. All I know is that it has a very like creepy vibe, and it's one of Neil Gaiman's like best written books. Like, so many people have spoken about this book and I love Neil Gaiman. I've read Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman and I absolutely love that book and I absolutely love his writing. So yeah, I'm waiting to read this one. And the last one that I am reading is The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn. Now, I can't do like a thriller spooky readathon without reading a Gillian Flynn book because, like, honestly, she's the queen of like disturbing, spooky, crazy thriller kind of books. So I chose this one because honestly this one is like very thin. And I feel like with the other 3 books that are on my list, I should easily be able to fit this one in and soak up all the crazy, disturbing Gillian Flynn madness. Okay, so I just finished about 100 pages of One Arranged Murder by Chetan Bhagat, and to be very honest, like, I'm not completely hating this book. This book is another thriller book written by Chetan Bhagat, and it seems to be kind of like a sequel or like the second book in the series of I'm guessing what he wants to build as maybe a detective series or something like that, because what I've heard is that the main characters, Keshav and Saurabh, were also featured in The Girl in Room 105, which is a book that I haven't read, but that might be the book where these two characters first came to light. Now, what this book is about is that Saurabh is basically getting married, and he has his fiancée named Prerna, and they are very much in love with each other. One day, which is Karwa Chauth, Prerna has basically fasted for Saurabh, and she called Saurabh to meet her on the terrace of her building. But when Saurabh comes to meet Prerna, he finds that she has fallen from the terrace and she's died. And, the police are called, and the police have a suspicion that this might not be an accident or suicide or something like that, but it could be a murder. The thing that I'm really liking about this book is that all the suspects in this murder mystery are members of the house. So the people who live in Prerna's house are her mom, dad, and brother, her chacha and her bua, her cousin from the US, a maid, and their driver. The thing that I forgot to mention is that Keshav and Saurabh have their own kind of detective agency, which I think they set up probably during the time of The Girl in Room 105 in that book. And now Keshav and Saurabh are trying to find who murdered Prerna, and they basically are helping the police conduct the investigation. And that's what I'm liking about the book, is that because you actually get to read the witness testimonies or the testimonies of the people who live in the house as the police are carrying out their investigation. At the side, Keshav and Saurabh are also kind of interviewing people who are close to Prerna and trying to get to the bottom of this. And it's quite a very fast-paced, interesting read. It keeps you interested in knowing what is going to happen. The thing that I am not liking, and the thing that is really annoying me, is Keshav's character. Oh my god, he is so unlikable and so oh my god, his character is just absolutely annoying. The thing that's really getting to me is all the fat shaming. It's addressed in the book that Keshav is pretty much a really awful person, and he doesn't really care about people's feelings, and he's not a very emotional person. But on every single page there is some kind of mention of either a well-rounded person or a healthy person or someone who likes to eat a lot. He's constantly making fun of Saurabh and his relationship with food. There is such a preoccupation and obsession with food and with people that it's getting really annoying right now. And I don't even know if it's supposed to be funny. Is it supposed to be funny that this probably slightly overweight person has an unhealthy relationship with food? I don't know if it's supposed to be funny, because it's not funny. It's very annoying to keep reading about that. So yeah, story-wise, I'm enjoying it. It's interesting. I want to know what happens next. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little bit of a break right now to get something to eat, maybe. Because all the food that's mentioned is making me hungry, to be honest, because on every page there's mention of samosa and kachori and chole bhature in Delhi, and that's making me hungry. So I'm gonna go eat something right now, and then I will continue with the readathon. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me, but I just came across a paragraph in this book, and it's Chetan Bhagat trying to be meta. The paragraph is, he tossed all the onions into the kadhai, stirring till they turned golden brown. If I were writing an Indian literary novel, the ones white guys in Britain judge and give prizes to, I would write 2 more paragraphs on the aroma of red onions fried in butter, basically how we Indians are so exotic and we spray cinnamon in the air. However, I had bigger problems on hand, a 96-kilo stress ball, for instance. Is this a jab at everyone who says that he doesn't write well? I don't know, but again, there's fat shaming here. The 96-kilo stress ball. Why does he have to talk about his weight? Hi guys, okay, so the time is around 6 o'clock and I have just finished book 1 of my readathon. I finished One Arranged Murder by Chetan Bhagat. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hate the book. I did quite enjoy it. The entire murder mystery aspect of the book was quite enjoyable, although towards the end it did get a little bit predictable. There was one point where probably it was like 50 to 60 pages left in the book where I suspected or I kind of figured out where the story was going. So it was a little bit predictable, but nevertheless, it was enjoyable. Definitely a 3-star read. Now I am gonna take a little bit of a break, probably watch something on TV because I've been reading like non-stop. And then I'm gonna switch from my iPad and probably read Coraline by Neil Gaiman. This book, the text in this book is quite large, so I'm hoping that I finish this one quite fast. So yes, I will see you guys in a bit. Hi guys, okay, so I'm on page 60 of Coraline by Neil Gaiman, and this book is weird. It's kind of like a very twisted, scary Alice in Wonderland kind of book, but basically it's about our main character Coraline, who is a young girl who is very inquisitive. Coraline and her parents have moved into kind of like a new apartment. And because she is so inquisitive and she's so adventurous, Coraline just spends most of her time exploring the house, spending time with the weird neighbors that they have in this new house, and like exploring the neighborhood and just like going about. Then one day Coraline discovers a door which at first she thinks opens only into a brick wall, like it opens to a brick wall. But then something very mysterious happens, and this door gives way to another kind of parallel world where she meets very creepy characters and some like magical, mystical things. So yeah, it's quite interesting, and surprisingly it is very creepy. Like for a children's book, it is quite scary. What makes it even more scary are the illustrations in this book. Let me just show you. So yeah, these are some of the illustrations in this book. Like, oh my god, look at her nails. This is scary. I'll show you one more. This is freaking creepy. And this is a children's book. So yeah, these illustrations are what is making this even scarier and even more creepy. So I'm on like chapter 8 of Coraline right now, but the really cool thing is that I discovered it on the Storytel app, and the audiobook version of this book is actually narrated by Neil Gaiman himself. So I started listening to it like about halfway through, and it's so good. Neil Gaiman is such an amazing narrator. Like the different voices and the voice modulation he's done for all the characters is so good, and I'm so happy that I found this on the Storytel app, because listening to it, even though it was like halfway through, has been an absolute treat. So this is kind of a ghost story in the sense that Coraline does encounter some ghosts and monsters and things like that. But the way that she interacts with these like creatures and these monsters is with so much compassion and so much love and so much empathy. It is so sweet and so endearing to read. And I'm absolutely loving Coraline's character. Like she's just so sweet, and the fact that she's like a young inquisitive girl who has so much compassion is just a treat to read about. So I'm really liking her character, and I'm really liking this book. Like it's creepy but also very heartwarming at the same time, which is strange, but it's a really nice book. So I'm actually going to continue listening to the audiobook now, and I will check in with you guys later. Okay, I don't know why I do this to myself, but I left this book to be read when it's already night outside. The time is now 10:45 and I don't know why, but I'm reading the scariest book on my list when it is night outside. Also, I'm alone at home because my husband has gone to a friend's house to watch IPL. Basically, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but I am. And I'm now going to start reading this collection of ghost stories. Hi guys, good morning. So the time is actually 7 o'clock, and yesterday, as I was reading my ghost story book named Haunted, I finished reading about three stories, I think, and then I fell asleep. I don't even remember when I fell asleep, I just know that I did. So I decided to wake up early to try to finish as much of this book as possible, and then hopefully get to this book. Oops, hopefully get to this book by Gillian Flynn so that I can finish 4 books in this readathon, but let's see how far I get. The current book that I'm reading, which is called Haunted, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but actually, the collection of short ghost stories which is there in this book are supposed to be real life encounters by a paranormal investigator named hold on, by Jay Alani. So, Jay Alani is like a professional paranormal investigator, and these are places which he has visited during his investigations and the ghost encounters that he has experienced and had. Neil De Silva, who is a renowned horror author, Indian horror author, I think is just helping him relay this information and tell his stories. So, stories like the content comes from Jay Alani, but the writing style is Neil De Silva. And Neil De Silva's writing style, like I said, is very immersive. Like he has the tendency to describe everything about the location, everything about the paranormal investigation, like the tools that are used, and the spine chilling like experiences that these characters have. And because of that, like reading this book is actually quite scary. Like the way he's described certain things really kind of transports you into that location, transports you into that story, and it is quite scary. The very first story, which is about the lost child at Kuldhara, which is like this haunted village in Rajasthan, that one itself was quite spooky. And honestly, when it comes to like paranormal children, I find that to be the scariest stories ever told. I don't know, I just find paranormal children extremely creepy. So that one, the first story itself was quite scary. But yeah, I am enjoying this book. It is quite like it's given me goosebumps and it is quite like scary. I'm going to try to continue on, finish this book, and then get to my last book in this readathon all in 3 hours. So let's see if I can do that. So the time is now almost 9:30 and I have just finished reading Haunted. Yeah, I just finished reading Haunted by Jay Alani and Neil De Silva, and it was a pretty fun read. Like, to be honest, not all 10 short stories are like bone chillingly scary, but some of them were quite creepy. I'll just like quickly list out the ones that I liked the most. The Lost Child of Kuldhara. That one is about a haunted village in Rajasthan named Kuldhara, and Jay and one of his friends encounters the ghost of a lost boy. The second one is the Salt Witch of the Lambi Dahar Mines. This one was quite scary. Like, there's one moment that happens in this story that was just absolutely terrifying. But this is about the haunted limestone mines which are there near Mussoorie. The third one that I really liked is The Tragic Ghost of Vas Villa. This is about a haunted villa in Bangalore, and the kind of investigation that Jay Alani does in that villa. This one was not like scary, but it was like slightly creepy, and the story was really interesting. And the last one that I really liked was The Royal Spirits of the Three Kings Chapel. This one was quite scary because it's not just about like haunted location, but it's also about like spirits terrorizing a couple in Mumbai. And this one like hit home, and it was quite terrifying. But yeah, overall it was quite an interesting read, and I highly recommend it to anyone who's into like paranormal investigations and who likes to read ghost stories. But yeah, the time is now, like I said, 9:30-ish, and I have only half an hour left in my readathon. So I'm actually going to call it quits because I know that I won't be able to finish The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn in this half an hour. So I'm going to call it quits for now in this readathon challenge. But I am okay with that because I read 3 books in this 24-hour readathon, which I think is quite good. If you guys enjoyed watching this vlog, then please give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below letting me know which are some of the creepy books that you guys have read and what are your recommendations for like horror, thriller kind of books. And of course, if you like videos like these, then do subscribe to my channel for more book related videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.